Yeah, I just wanna be the greatest.
It's your boy Hi-Fi Vega back again, and this time we're gonna dyno, review, and listen to this American-made Boss. What's the model number here? BA US140. Now, Brad Newsom sent this to me because he had watched the amp dyno of the 5-channel Boss and seen that I really wasn't too impressed with the sound quality. I thought it was just okay. And he was curious and wondered if the Z-made amps sound better. So we're going to put this thing on the dyno, see what kind of power it puts out. And it says here 400 watts. So, I mean, we're going to find out. Do you think it does 400 watts? And I will tell you that it come with a 20 amp fuse. So, yeah, shout out to Brad. Let's get this thing tested. Let's see what it sounds like, and we'll come back with my final thoughts. Alrighty, let's get this amp out of this box. And as you can see, Brad hooked it up, sent me a t-shirt, legendsofcaraudio.com. Make sure to check him out. He ships stuff all the time, so obviously this is going to be packed well. Let's get this dude hooked up. We'll use the DD-1 to set the gain properly. Then we'll be ready to hook up the AMM1, see what kind of power this thing actually does. Does it do the 400 watts silk screened on the side? Probably not, but let's find out. Let's quit talking and start showing. We're going to start with the Ohms Mono test. We're using a 1 kHz track. It's rated 75 watts by 2, so we're looking for around 150 watts. We got 84 watts at 14.4 volts. We pulled 13 amps, making it 44% efficient. Alright, let's see if we do any better at the Ohms Mono. We're using the same 1 kHz track, and we are rated 300 watts by 1 max power. Let's go. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no. Oh, 136 watts, 14.4 volts. We pulled 22 amps, making it 41% efficient. Let's try it at 2 ohms mono, the same 1 kHz track, and we're rated 400 watts by 1 max power. If you pay attention to the bottom right corner clamp meter, you will see that we blew that small tiny 20 amp fuse in there. So let's replace it with a 40 and see what this thing can do at 2 ohms mono, if you know what I mean. Is it going to be a full send? Who knows? Let's do it anyways.
Round 2. Fight!
Alright, you heard the man. It's round 2, 2 ohms mono, 1 kHz track. We're rated 400 watts by 1 max power. If you can't hear the air quotes, I'm doing the air quotes right now. Let's see what it actually does. Okay, folks, we got big power here, 193 watts, 14.4 volts. We pulled 35 amps, making this thing 37% efficient. I mean, if that's what you call efficient. Alright, let's get this dude open. Let's see those legendary Z guts. We'll see what it looks like. But let me tell you, I almost couldn't get this bottom plate off. I struggled mightily with it, but I got it off because I'm your boy, and I know you want to see them guts. And to be honest with you, the guts aren't half bad on this. It looks well put together. It seems pretty solid, and they just should have rated it differently, in my opinion. It is time to listen to this thing. Let's see what you guys think about how it actually sounds. we are back. We've tested it. We've listened to it. And unfortunately, we've seen that this thing failed at every single rating that it had. And it basically done half the power screened on the amp itself. And sadly, that's what we've come to expect from Boss. So that's kind of par for the course for these amps. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Let's talk about some of the good things. And if you just look at this amp, I think it's a good looking amp. I mean, for a Boss amp, actually, quite a few Boss amps look good, but this one in particular, I like the silk screen on the side. I like the big blocky design. I mean, this is truly like an old school cool amp. Heat sinks are nice. It's got a nice crossover network. That's Z right there. They always have something nice for you in the crossover department. So that's the good part. It looks pretty well made when you open it up. It seems to be a tank. It handled the 2 ohm mono load that it says it'll handle, although with the sine wave I did have to put a bigger fuse in there, so it happens. You had to do that with the Ron 225 if you run it at 1 ohm constantly too, so it's just something that you would have to do with these older amps and maybe even newer amps today. As far as the sound, I think this amp sounded significantly better than the 5-channel that I had tested in the past, and I think it's a pretty good sounding amp. It's not up there in the echelon of amps that I've tested and listened to in the same manner like the Mosconi, the Adcom. It's not even really up. It's very close to the Pioneer little 2-channel Class D amp that I tested. It's very close to that. It's a pretty good sounding amp. It's not a perfect amp or an amazing sounding amp, but it's a good solid sounding amp. And you're definitely not going to notice if you have this running your mids versus, another semi-high end Pioneer, Sony, or whatever the case may be, whatever amp you're using. That's the story of this amp. It's pretty good. They were priced well back in the day. They were quality made, this particular amp. And yeah, it's a solid amp, and if you got it back in the day, I'm pretty sure you would have been happy, and if you got it now, I'm pretty sure you'd still be happy. So that's it. We've tested the Z Audio Boss US made, and unfortunately, Boss still overrated it. So we did not make those ratings, but it sounded good, and it was well built, and honestly, even the cheap Bosses are pretty well built. Now you can make an informed decision on this old school Boss amp that you probably can't find anywhere, but I've got a few more listening demos. If you want to check those out, stick around. They're coming right up. I appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters, but a special shout out goes to $6 or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The Third Era, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, Paul Smith, Byron Chambliss, The Karate Guy, Jason Zemer, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, William Inabit. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the team and get exclusive Patreon-only content not available on YouTube. If you'd like to help me with my goal of reaching 1 new patron a month, check me out, patreon.com/HiFiVega.
Oh, oh.